Thank you, really. I mean, like, genuinely, you changed my life in a lot of ways.
Colin, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. I know you've had some awesome successes and wins, and even kind of before this, you were talking about how you made like $200 in line at Chipotle. Yeah, man, if you could just kind of introduce yourself, kind of, maybe what inspired you to even want to join something like Modern SDR, and yeah, man, just take it away. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks, Kekoa. I mean, my name is Collin Saam. I'm 19. I'm from Pennsylvania. Really, what got me like interested in the modern SDR was I was always looking for an opportunity to make money online. You know what I mean? And I've tried a lot of different things out there. I've tried like drop shipping. I was looking into affiliate marketing for a while. I looked into Amazon FBA, and I feel like everything in that sense was very overcomplicated. And by getting involved in something like this, like I took a leap, you know what I mean? I invested in myself, and I decided that this would possibly be a good move for me. And by doing that, I mean, it fulfilled every single thing I needed. You know what I mean? I was able to, this is the first thing I feel like I've ever actually gotten into where I've made money. You know what I mean? I've been in a position now where like I'm like hired, I'm making money, I'm working remotely. And as you said before, like one day, like a couple of weeks ago, I was in line ordering a burrito, and I closed the deal. And the idea of that is so crazy, because it just goes to show me that like that location freedom is like really a reality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. And I mean, you're 19 right now. And I feel like even when you were talking with Patrick and talking with me before, because I know we actually kind of hopped on before you even joined us. But I guess for you, like, where would you want to like move to, or like, I guess what's the kind of the vision for you now that you
I'm
kind of have this potential? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I'm very big into like just how do I put it, like business in general, if that makes sense. Like I definitely would love to start my own business at some point. I guess I don't know if you necessarily want to call it like entrepreneurship, but I'm hungry, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I want to make as much money as possible in my 20s as I can, you know, because I want to be able to like live the type of life I want to. You know, I don't want to work 40 years for the man and retire at 65, and you know, I don't want to live that like traditional life. I've always been a little bit different than that, you know. And in like, if I could envision myself in 10 years, I hope to make my first million in 10 years. You know what I mean? I hope to be able to start my own business and travel the world and do the things I want with my life, you know?
Yeah, man. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, man. I mean, like with those goals in mind, that's absolutely incredible. Like, what do kind of your parents kind of think about this sort of stuff? Or like, I guess were they kind of sketched out with you kind of coming into this, or yeah.
Well, like my mom, believe it or not, my mom like follows you on Instagram. So she literally, I'll wake up in the morning, she's like, check out this reel that Kekoa put on his Instagram. I'm like,
No.
thanks, mom. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, I already saw it, but like she'll send me stuff like that. So, I mean, of course, when like I like told my parents about it, they were kind of like, oh, well, how do you know what you're getting into? Like, don't blow all your money. Like, but then the more and more I showed them, and the more and more like I told them what I was doing and who I was talking to and the people I was connecting with, they were like, this is incredible. Like, you got to do this. Like my parents today, believe it or not, like I have I have a couple meetings that I have to go to today too after this. So my parents were like, Collin, if you don't go to this meeting, like don't worry about work today. Like, don't even go in. Just, you have to make this meeting. You have to talk to him. You have to make this meeting. Like, so they're 100%, like they're 110% supportive of this. They wanted me to take it to the moon, you know?
That's super cool, man. What meetings are you going to today? That sounds exciting.
Yeah. I have a meeting with I guess who I kind of consider my mentor, and as well as you too. So you're kind of like a mentor to me in a way. So I have a meeting with my business owner as well as his mentor too. So we have we were just going to kind of go over a lot of things, and his mentor, you know, like his time is kind of expensive too. So I don't want to, I got to make sure I hop on that call. And then I actually I have a friend of mine who is really interested in like what I'm doing and how I got into sales, and he wants to know like all about it. So we were actually like going to go meet on his college campus and just go over like everything that I've been doing here with the Modern SDR and like how to get into sales and that type of thing.
Dude, that's epic. That's epic. So your friend's actually in college right now, but is looking for something else, or
Yeah,
what's
he's like, he goes to college for engineering right now, but like we just had a conversation the other night, and he's like, you know, and I don't want to be in college for engineering, but he's like, but I know I'm good at it and I know it'll work. So it's kind of like the only option I feel like I have. And, you know, I said to him, I'm like, but it's not the option. It's not the only option. Like there's other options out there. You know what I mean? If you don't like college and you're not like, enjoying what you're doing, like you can, there's other avenues to take. And that's kind of why I told him about like what I've been doing with the Modern SDR and the way that I've been working remotely and making money remotely. You know what I mean? Like, so he's just very intrigued about it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I mean, that's really cool that you're able to share that with him and everything like that. So, I mean, you're 19 right now. I feel like you're a lot more sophisticated and well-spoken than a lot of other 19-year-olds that I've met. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
I guess, have you had other like mentors kind of throughout your life, or like books that you've read, or like how did you kind of become the person that you are today?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a long story, and I don't know how much I should really like go into it, but
As much as you want.
all right. So it all kind of started like, I want to say probably about 2020. Like I had just turned 17, and I started a YouTube channel with my friend, and we were just kind of like, hey, let's just do this because it's fun. But you know, the more and more I like kept making videos, I make like one video a week, and the more and more I did it, I was like, I enjoy this a lot. So then I kept going and kept going, and I found that my friends who were also involved in it just stopped, like they just kind of like left and went their separate ways and stuff like that. And it almost made me realize like this is like I can commit to a lot of things like this that I enjoy because I want to do these types of things. You know what I mean? Like I find myself like going to my regular job every day, and I hate it. And I hate working. I work at a grocery store, and I hate it so much. Like I'm like, I feel like just a number. You know what I mean? I put on my shirt and my name tag, and I'm like, you know, what am I doing here? You know, I could be doing so much more with my life. So I think that's kind of when my like journey began, was in 2020, because I kind of realized like, okay, I can make money online. One of my videos went viral, and I bought a camera with it. You know what I mean? I bought a camera with the money I made. So it was kind of like, I was like, there's a lot of opportunity to make money online. I just got to figure out how to do it. So when I was 18, I graduated high school last June, and I decided to go to college because I really wasn't sure what I was doing. You know, I had no clue what I wanted to do with my life at all, and I was still working on YouTube, and I was still doing my thing. And I went to college, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go in undecided. And like as I got there, like the first week I was there, like everybody was there in their pajamas. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm like in a good learning environment in a lot of ways. I feel like people don't want to get up and learn. Like they're just here because they're here. You know, and I was like, this isn't really something I don't think I want to do. So like I finished out my first semester, and I left, and I was like, I gotta find something else to do. I'm like, I have to. I'm like, there's got to be some other way than to just sit here in this classroom and learn. I'm like, I just graduated high school. I feel like I'm back in high school again. So you know, I tried like a couple different things. I tried affiliate marketing, like I said, and then I tried drop shipping for a while. I actually went through a little bit of a mentorship, which was, I don't know if you know who Jacob Levinrad is. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, no.
Yeah, he's just like he's another like online influencer, and just he has a program where he mentors people in drop shipping. But I went through his program, and like it wasn't, I don't know, it just wasn't up to par, if that makes sense. I definitely could have gotten more information, I think. But and I at that point I was just like, you know, I need something. So I started to read. I started to read like crazy. And I mean, I still read like every single day now. But my first book that I ever read that I picked up was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And I mean, it completely flipped my whole mentality on everything. And because of that, I was hooked. And I started reading like every Robert Kiyosaki book that I could find. And I started reading like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and even books that you've actually recommended, like The One Thing. I just bought that book. So I mean, I read constantly, and that kind of flipped my whole perspective on things too. So then when I had the idea, I saw this opportunity, and I was like, I gotta look into this. Like I gotta get involved. And again, like I said, I kind of took a leap because I was like fairly unsure, but I was like, I think this can change my life. So I did. And then, you know, it did, like, it changed my life. You know what I mean? I'm able to work remotely. Like it's crazy. And I've always wanted to do that. So it gives me so much more of an opportunity to focus on the things that I want to do for like my future. You know, it'll give me the ability to invest and start, you know, diving into other opportunities, maybe start my own business, like something along those lines. It gives me an opportunity to work from home, work from anywhere, travel the world, do what I want to do, you know, and that's what's important to me. So
Dude, that's really incredible. And I like, I remember at 19, and yeah, I mean, like kind of even, so back when I was 14, I actually had a YouTube channel too, started learning that, and then kind of that fell off at some point because it just wasn't like as interesting. But I think that first hit of seeing like something work that you may have not thought possible at some point in life, I think is like one of the biggest reality shifts. And I think like, it's so crazy seeing your eyes light up with it. It's like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
it's actually,
Yeah. I
it's
know exactly what you mean. Because
like,
I used to make videos on like rappers and stuff like that for a little while. And there was like a completely different thing that it was like a completely different niche. I have a whole different thing going on now. But that was like when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I made a video on some rapper and like his story and stuff. And I mean, it just took off. Like it got like 500,000 views. And I was like, whoa, like that's crazy. And it got my channel monetized. So it was cool. You know what I mean? And then I started watching the money kind of like pour in. And I was like, oh my God, I just made like $500 off of this video. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? I just, it again, like you said, it completely changed like my perspective on things. I was like, this is like an opportunity to change my life. Like if I continue with this, like imagine if I was getting 500,000 views every video. I'm like, I could change my life with something like that, you know?
yeah, no, for sure. I totally agree. I think it's, I think a lot of people may be held back by like, I feel like there's that saying, it's like, or it's like, you think, like the more you know, the more you realize you don't actually know.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if we're caught up in, a community that isn't necessarily in the entrepreneur space, doesn't know about remote triaging or sales or like things like that, then the idea that you can work anywhere, or the idea that you can make your $200 in line for Chipotle or whatever it is, right? And then there is another path, I think is so like, it seems so extreme.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, could you kind of walk through, I guess, how your perspective on reality and life has changed? I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you a perfect example. Like I'm not going to necessarily name names, but one of my coworkers that I work with, he's a good guy, but he's a little older because a lot of the time at like at the grocery store I work at, they hire a lot of like older people. So he and I have had a lot of conversations because we've become good friends because we're working together every day. And I've been telling him, more about this program and what I'm doing to kind of like further my future. That makes sense because I'm not in college anymore. And I wanted to, change my life. So I got involved in this. And of course, I think a lot of it is because he has a different perspective on things because he grew up in a different era than I did. And that's totally fine. It's just like, he's very like, oh, you wasted your money and you're not gonna be able to make anything out of that. And that was a bad decision and you shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? And of course, like everybody has their own opinion and that's totally fine. But I see like what he did with his life. And then I see what I do, what I want to do with my life. Like he worked at a factory for 40 years and is 66 and works at the grocery store now. But like, if I had to work at a factory for 40 years and then work at a grocery store at 66, like, I don't think I'd be very happy with my life. You know what I mean? I hope by the time I'm 66, I'm playing golf and I'm on a, like, I'm retired or something. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of situation I want to do. So like, even seeing things like that, like it almost like flipped my perspective. Like I don't want to work like this for the rest of my life. Like I hate my work environment now at 19. I'm like, if I had to do that for the rest of my life, like I don't think I'd be happy. I don't think my life would feel fulfilled. Like, sorry, I just got over COVID, so I'm a bit of a cough. But
I forgot about that.
yeah,
are you better now? Are you
yeah, I'm good now. It's just I still got this cough. It hasn't gone away yet, but yeah, like my point is, I see like another example. Like my mom works at the school I graduated from, and like some people have been there like 40, 50 years, and it's like if I had to stay in the same place, see the same people, the same, like even in the same area, you know what I mean? Like even in the same county that I live in, if I have to see the same people every day, like I feel like it's almost just, I'm not reaching my fullest potential. I could do so much more with my life. I could do anything, but people limit themselves so much because they don't feel that they're capable. And I wish I could change people's opinions on that. Like I wish for like, that's kind of another reason as to why I'm trying to become an entrepreneur, because I like public speaking too. It was my favorite class when I was in high school and in college. Like my semester in college that I did, I passed that class with 110. Like it was my favorite class. I used to be the first one up every day to give my speech or whatever. But I want to be able to like influence people and tell people that, there is another way. Like you don't have to commit to like this 9 to 5, like this idea of, oh, go to college, get a good job with good benefits, and then retire at 65. I just want to change people's perspectives, and even like realizing that in myself, like, I don't know, I think kind of just helped me. Like, I think that helped the whole process, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, like even hearing that, like I feel like I've talked to so many people that feel like they're stuck or they're in this kind of environment that isn't really cohesive to, continuing to learn and grow. And I think it's so, great that you've realized this at age 19 and now kind of, expanding into something different. Dude, I think you crush it with public speaking though. Like I think I think there's definitely a future there. So that's really cool, man.
Thanks.
Well, cool. I guess what's one and I just want to respect your time too, so we can kind of wrap here. But I guess what's one piece of advice for I guess someone potentially looking to join something like this, or maybe they're afraid to leave their 9 to 5 job, maybe they're maybe they don't have the belief in themselves that they can actually do something like this or even make a change with how they're currently living. Like, I guess, do you have a piece of advice for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think what I would say is there's, I mean, a lot of opportunities in life are going to come and go. You know what I mean? That's just how life works. There's opportunities here, there's opportunities there. I mean, more opportunities will come in the future. But if you don't jump on those opportunities, like, you're going to miss out on them. You know what I mean? So like when this opportunity came up, you know what I mean? I could have been like the next guy and said, hey, I don't want to spend $4,800. Like, I don't want to invest in myself. Like, why? And then right now, I probably would still be in college. I'd probably still be like working 5-6 days a week at the grocery store, and I'd probably still be very unhappy. You know what I mean? But instead, I decided that I wanted to make that change in my life. I felt that this was the option to do so. I wanted to make that change in my life, and I knew I was going to some way, shape, or form. So when I made that leap, you know what I mean? Of course it was scary. Like, it was like, this is my money. Like, you know what I mean? If I don't do something with this, like, I just basically wasted $5,000. Like, what's, but I said to myself, like, you spent money on this. I'm like, you have to make sure you apply yourself as much as possible, because you want to do this. You want to change your life. So I guess my best piece of advice is, when that opportunity comes up, like, don't hesitate. Like try things out. You know what I mean? It's better to fail at like, I like to use the example of Thomas Edison, because I read about this in Think and Grow Rich. Like, they said, for him to create the light bulb, he failed like 10,000 times, but that 10,000 and first time, he finally succeeded. And I mean, everybody knows his name now because he created the light bulb. So it's like, I mean, it's okay to fail, like, in your 20s, fail, like, try things out and let things like go down in flames. Sometimes it's okay, because they're all learning experiences. But my point is, if you don't take those learning experiences, you're never going to learn, and you're going to be caught up in that same life that you're caught up in now. You're never going to get out of it. So again, it's just to reiterate, like, I feel like my best piece of advice is take that leap. Don't be scared. Fear is a good thing in a lot of ways, because it teaches you something. So
Yeah, no, that's huge, man. I think there's some really good, things to take away from that. And, I think every time I've been scared in life, like, I knew that that's the thing I have to do.
Yeah.
Like, whatever it is, right? Whether it's, starting a new relationship, finding a new friend, talking to a business person that you've idolized your whole life, right? Like, it's literally all of that. Especially, I think, when it comes to like investing in yourself or things like that, I think it should be scary, right?
Yeah.
If it's not, then it doesn't matter to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I think it's just doing it anyways, right? So,
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess, where can people find you?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you want to share your YouTube channel. We'll put
Oh, no way, dude. I can't do that. I can't do that, because I mean, I don't know. I kind of like to keep it more private, I guess, if that makes sense. But I mean, I have an Instagram. You guys can follow me on Instagram, I guess. It's just Collin Saam, Collin.Sam. But that's about all I can do to plug myself, I guess.
Sweet, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Collin, and thank you so much for the time. Anything else that you want to cover?
I just want to say thank you, really. I mean, like genuinely, you changed my life in a lot of ways, dude. Like I mean, I've been following your account for a long time, and I just, I never thought I never thought like I always like the motivational posts that you have. You know what I mean? So I never thought I'd talk to you. That's the honest truth. I never thought I'd be in contact with you, but here we are. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, it's honestly not even me. It's mainly the team. Like the team's incredible, and hopefully Eva and Patrick and
yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of them they're great people, and I've met some great people through this program. Like I used to love the calls on Friday with Ryan. They were some of my favorite things to go to. And I mean, I got to keep going to them, but like I just get so busy. You know what I mean? But
dude,
I got to make some time.
Ryan's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
Sweet, brother. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And thank you so much. We'll catch you next. Cheers.
Thanks, Kekoa.